Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy coming to you live from Daytona Beach, Florida, not Toronto, Canada, folks. We don't do winters. That's something that Tammy and I have designed as far as the way we live about, what's that, 12 years ago, Tammy? 13, 12 years
Yeah,
ago.
this is our 12th year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, folks, listen, in the past, for the past several weeks on Saturdays, except for last Saturday, we had the introduction of the new funnel in reference to the 7 day trial. But after the training, we conducted the second session on the 90-day run every single Saturdays from January 1st, well, from the beginning of the month of January until the end of the month of March. We're going to be doing training sessions. So it's about 4 times a month, depending on the month. If there's, I don't know if there's a 5 weekend month there, but you know what I'm talking about. So every Saturdays for these 90 days, we're going to be giving you trainings, tips, and educate you on what it takes to build an organization, folks. I know that many of you are looking to do this business on a full-time basis, or at least creating an income stream that can sustain your lifestyle, or at least complement your lifestyle for you to maybe move into a bigger home, or maybe buy your very first home, or maybe you'd like to subsidize your pension plan, right? Whatever the situation may be, folks, this is not going to happen by sponsoring one person at a time, once every month. You need to create. It's an example that I often use is a plane that's taking off. It's a heavy piece of metal with a lot of people sitting in it, right? It's a big bus. And for this to take off, it needs some speed, right? The plane needs to get into momentum before it can lift off and take, get in the air. So your business is kind of in a similar process. If you just turn around and casually move forward and, I think I'm going to jog right now. I'm not going to run. I'm just going to jog. I'm going to pause right now. I'm tired. And that's how you build your business. You may end up with an income stream for sure. But if you're looking to create an income on a full-time basis, and this is where Tammy are here for, we need to create that momentum, that push, that wind that will push the self forward. And that's what 90-day runs are all about. Now, Tammy, I want to share a little bit of what we've done in the past, but I want to give you an opportunity to share a few words before as I'm doing this.
No, go ahead and share your story, Chris.
Okay, so let me share my screen here, folks, just to kind of recap a little bit on what we've been working on. Now, this here, and I'm just going to take the link again, and I'm going to paste it. This is the GVO channel, but pointing to the playlists, okay? Playlists are just a fancy name that groups a whole bunch of videos into a list based on a certain topic. So if you look here, you have, for example, the Success Cycle series. Now, obviously, there's others. I'm not going to cover them all here. You can do this on your own. But the Success Cycle series, folks, these are just modules that are basic. It's kind of like your alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, up to Z, if you're talking English here. So the fact here is you learn the alphabet so you can learn how to read and write. It's kind of an approach that we're using in reference to building your business on inviting, prospecting, following up, which are all the things that Tammy and I are going to talk about today. And today, the topic really is the follow-up from the work that you've done. And if you have not, let's say you're brand new, you just started your business with God Backup right now, and you're kind of coming on the left field. Okay, what is this all about? Well, here's the thing. That's why I'm sharing this with you. If you click on, for example, the full playlist over here, 90-day campaign 2025, you click on this, it's going to show you what we've done so far. So this is the 90-day drive into momentum. If you click on that, now I'm not going to go ahead and start clicking to get the sound and everything else, but just bear with me here. I'm just kind of clicking and flipping here. Let me go back. Okay, let's just pause for a minute. Okay, so for example, let me just go back because I'm going to start from the very first file, and I have Butterfingers here, and I'm going a little too fast. Let me go back to the playlist. There we go. So over here, let me get rid of that. My computer lags a little bit here, folks. I apologize. So over here, the 90-day drive into momentum campaign. This is important if you're brand new, because over here we lay down the actual course itself. Of course, we have the commercials now, Just bear with me. This is something that we have to live with if we're on YouTube. Okay, skip. Okay. So from there, you'll Tammy and I are introducing the 90-day run. Okay. So we're kind of giving you the lay of the land. This is the document that actually is available for you to get a layout of the entire program through the next 90 days. So you're kind of not in the dark on what's coming next. Okay. And then if you go back to the next training after that, that was session one about launching your business. Okay. So if you go to playlist again, I'm not sure what I just did there. Okay. And you click on this one, then that training over here. We covered some grounds on, and of course, you can skip the music and all of this stuff. You don't have to wait for this. And then we're talking about how to launch your business, and all the details are important for you to be aware of and having the right mindset and so forth, dealing with people that might be a little bit negative. What is your mission for the week and so forth? It's all there. Okay. So just wanted to share that with you, give you the lay of the land. Now, over here, this is where Joel has introduced the funnel, right? The 7-day trial, which I think it's an awesome approach. As you can see here, quite a few folks have been watching this already. Now, because we also wanted to continue the trend, so after the segment was completed, right over here, okay, then you can see now we started the session 2, okay, and then we're continuing on the second portion on initiating your business, making the initial calls, and all of this stuff. And the last video over here, which is the one that's currently taking place, you can see here if you go to live. This is, let's see here. Let's go home. I think it'll be right there. Yeah, hey, this one is live right now. Okay. So if I click on that and I save that to my playlist, and it's going to be going on the 90-day campaign and also on the Saturday trainings. Okay. This is how I add them to the list. So now when you go to playlist, you will see over here. Okay, that's the one that's currently taking place, and these are the one that we did. And Tammy has suggested I do this in the morning at the beginning, just because some of you are new, and we're going to do this probably every session, because I'm not assuming, it's a fact that every single day there are many new people coming in to God Backup, and some of you wants to build a business, and you might be coming, in the middle of the story, right? So you want to start from the beginning, and folks, you can start right from the beginning. You can start the 90-day run right away. Or then again, the information that's provided here is really not really that complicated. Many of you have done this before, so it might be a bit of review, but at least you can get a sense of what's going on. And you know what's even better? Once we've done the month of March, maybe you want to do one for your own team. You can go back. And you don't even have to use ours, but you could use ours as a guideline to do your own for your own organization. This is what Tammy and I are really focusing on, is we want to help you in giving you the tools to be able to build a business. Now, Tammy and I, when we share this with you, this is not wishful thinking and guessing and shooting from the hip and learning on your dime. Not that you're paying for these courses, but you know what I'm saying? The fact here is we're living out of experience. For example, we're in Florida right now. Okay. And we have our home in Toronto. These are waterfront properties, folks. These taxes and have to get paid, right? We have financial responsibilities. Why am I sharing this with you? Is we are living what we're teaching. We're not just getting this from a book and telling you what we think may happen. We are living the results of what we're teaching you. So why are we saying this? It's because what we're telling you do work, but you do need to do the work. And if you do the work, you will do well. So back to you, Tammy.
Yeah. So at the beginning, when we first started, we kind of laid out the plan, and so the first couple weeks we were really focused on connecting with new people. So for those of you who engaged in the process and followed through, congratulations to you. And we're seeing a lot of people coming on board. So I want to always congratulate the people who are doing the work, because we know what it takes to build this business. And for those of you who kind of been slowly trailing along, you can start today. That's the best part about business, right? Is you can just make a decision. Today is my day number 1, and I'm going to run today. And so our system here is in the third week, we like to do our follow ups because we don't want to leave that. We don't want people to fall through our fingers. And a lot of people do that. And it's so sad because people come into this business often where somebody had contacted them. They already knew about Got Back Up. Unfortunately, the person who introduced it to them never followed through.
Mhm.
They never followed up, they never followed through. And then they see this person in the business, and then they get upset that that person didn't come in their business. In business, you need to follow up with your people, you need to follow through with people. Okay. That's part of the process. All right. So, this is why this session today is extremely important. And I'm sure you're going to write down the names of the people on your list that you didn't follow through with yet since the beginning of January. Even, even last year, you might have some people that have fallen through the cracks, right? So, our goal today is to make sure that you're following up with people, you're following through with people, and you're moving people along.
I
And
totally
that's
agree,
the
Tammy.
key.
And folks, there's only 7 slides, so there's not that many slides. We're not going to
No,
bore you
we're
with a
just
lot
gonna
of
go back
data.
and forth. Yeah.
It's really just to kind of give you. Sorry, Tammy, I thought you were done. I started talking. So there's only 7 slides here, and again, folks, we don't want to talk your ear off. We want to give you the right information. But before we begin, I love to recognize all of you. And I know we started a little slow here today. We have about 46 folks in the room. So let's see here. We have a regeneration zone. You know what? I really, really appreciate your comment here. Interesting training. Here's where the majority of us fail. Pay close attention and learn from the best. Well, I really do appreciate that. I know for the best, we certainly do our best to provide you the information as clean as we can possibly deliver it. I really appreciate that. And UNM from Ghana, welcome. Marie-Paul from Toronto, bienvenue, welcome. She's French, that's why I'm saying. Marie from Panama, I just love Panama. I've been there once, and we need to go back. Bill from London, Ontario, welcome. Bakshir, welcome. I believe from India. Let's see. We have Yvonne. Great to have you here. We have Augustine from Ghana. We have Randy. Hey, Randy. Great to have you here from Nevada, USA. Let's see here. Visiting his parents, actually taking care of his mom and dad. We had a great conversation yesterday. Johnny, welcome. Let's say Chris here from Greece. Awesome. That's such a beautiful country. Gorgeous. I just love the water, the mountain, especially in Santorini. Oh my God, is that ever beautiful? Tammy and I've been
The
traveling.
world is beautiful, eh? Every part of the world has its uniqueness. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the marble floors in the mountain. Just absolutely incredible. Guylaine from Quebec, bienvenue. We have Chris here. Great to have you here. We have Kim from Florida. From Toronto, Canada. Oh, Kim Ouden. I'm sorry. Great to have you. Good to see you. Let's see. We have. I thought it was Kim from Florida. I got confused for a second. William, great to have you from Ontario. We have Abudu. Great to have you here. We have Lynn, Francis, and Global. Oh, that's obviously us. Let's see here. Dorothy, great to have you here. We have Nelson. We have Scully. We have Barbara. Barbara, great to have you. Barbara and Paul, and you're probably together. Bakshi, I think I mentioned. Lucy, bienvenue. We have Moses, Gloria. We have Jacob, Marie, and Calvin, and Sebastiana, and Will. Great to have you, buddy. Ellis, and folks, listen, if I don't mention all of you, it's because we do need to start the training. But thank you so much for mentioning where you're from. Really, really do appreciate that. So let's get started with the very first session here, or I should say the very first slide of the session 3. On the power of following up. And folks, following up is such an important aspect. And this is where 80% of the sales will actually follow up, folks. It will occur. And unfortunately, the problem is, I don't see it's a problem. People so often don't realize that often people may engage or make a move after the 5th or even the 7th. My experience, after the 7th exposure. Okay. And that's what these trainings are all about, is to show you how to create the next exposure without annoying or irritating the person. There's ways to do this, just to drip the information without sounding a little too sticky, if you understand my meaning. Okay. Most people don't take immediate action, and they need to be reminded. And this is society today. People are busy. There's 20 things that are going on in our lives, and maybe even worse than that, maybe more or less, whatever the situation may be. But people need to be reminded to bring this back into perspective, as that's a priority, because we can create another stream of income. We can save all your data. I absolutely love the way I'm organized with God backup, folks. You should see my system. And often, if you follow up on our presentations on Friday, I do a little of a demo so people can see in real life how I'm organized. I just love the way this is, where the collaboration, my computers are backed up, my phone files are all there, everything is safe. And the thing about following up, it shows professionalism, especially if you show up on time. And the people that are persistent, incongruent, inconsistent in being persistent in doing the activities, they're the one that wins the race. And often, if you realize that someone ended up in someone else's team that maybe you spoke to before, remember, they don't know you from Adam. They don't know who you are. They just did their job. And because they followed through in doing the exposure and providing information in a way that a person could relate, they're the one who got that lead that ended up their associate. You can't get mad at that person because they turn around and scoop someone that you originally talked about. And that's often the situation. You wouldn't believe how many times, Tammy, I've been trying to resolve issues where, well, this person sponsored them. I talked to them first. Folks, nobody owns anybody, right? It's about providing information, and the people that are most professional about it, that are consistent. And I'm not talking about poaching someone else's downline. This is something completely different. That's a different story for another story. But I'm talking about people that are being prospected from different angles, not knowing who they are. That's perfectly legit. And the people who's going to sponsor that person are the people that follow up, that are consistent and show up on time. And very important is always, as a call to next action, folks, is make follow-up a priority. Prioritize your following up. See, if you take your business seriously, your follow-up, you're going to be very diligent about them. If you're not taking your business seriously, then, oh, you know what? I'll just call them tomorrow. I'm busy right now. I'm watching my series and, I'm into it right now. I don't feel like making a call. These are the things that often some folks may do. And that's the reason why the people don't take them seriously. They don't take their business seriously because they didn't follow up. Some folks are very, like, I know me, if you book an appointment with me, I'm telling you, I'm there on time. And if I'm not, I will let you know if something happened. I take that very seriously. People's time is very, very precious. And I know it because my time is precious. So if someone calls me and tells me they're going to call me at a certain time and they don't, for me, it says, I guess they're not that serious about it. And they just lost me. And I'm telling you, a lot of folks, a lot of professionals will feel the exact same way. So just food for thought. Anything you want to add to this, Tammy, before we change slides?
No, you're giving a lot of great insights to people on that aspect, because most people, they're not serious. They come into this business and they don't do what it takes to build the business. Or you might, like for me, I'll make a perfect example of me. I probably even shared it in the past in sessions. I was connecting with a gentleman, and I didn't know him, Facebook, and just going back and forth, and he's doing different things. I talked to him about Got Back Up, and at the time, it wasn't something that he was interested in. He's got plenty of data, blah blah blah, and next thing you know, we kept conversations, and next thing you know, he's in Got Back Up. So I messaged him and connected with him, and I said, "Hey, congratulations! I'm so happy you joined this amazing company." How many people would actually do that, right? They would probably get upset. They probably, the way I see it is Got Back Up such a great company, and he just didn't connect with me, and that's perfectly fine. Or maybe the timing wasn't right for him, and somebody contacted him on the perfect timing, right? So you have to look at this, and you have to be professional in this business model. Follow up, follow through, relationship building. Okay, are you going to connect with everybody? Probably not. I know I don't connect with everybody. I'm a human being, right? We all have different personalities. We all have different energies. And maybe the person who connected with that person happened to be a friend of theirs, right? Because that happens. So the reason we're saying this is because a lot of things can come into play through follow-ups. And we want to prepare you not to get discouraged. Don't take anything personally, because nothing is personal to you. Okay, so our job is like we deliver the newspaper, right? We're giving people information to see if it's something that is a fit for them. Okay, they might not be excited like you are about this, and that's perfectly fine. And you just keep moving. Do you know how many people are having data storage challenges with their devices? When I talk to people, that's the conversations we have. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, and I actually talked to him in December about this because he was looking to generate another revenue of income. I knew him through the networking model. Long story short is he had some people that were interested in looking for something, and it wasn't in countries that was available in what they were doing. And I just said, he said, what have you been up to? So of course we had that conversation about got backup. He said, wow, that sounds really interesting, send me the information. And I did. And then of course the holidays, New Year's, I left a message with him last week, didn't hear from him. So I made a phone call. Okay. Sometimes, the message, the text, they're not paying attention, or they see it and their intention is to get back to you, but something happens. So I made a phone call. He picked it up right away. Right away. And then we got talking. He was telling me some family stuff was happening. Long story short, is he said, oh, can you do me a favor and send me that link again? I'm ready to look at it. See, just in normal conversations, you guys. So you just got to go with the flow and constantly have that system working for you in the follow up while building the relationships. Okay. So, and that's what Chris and I have been doing for so many years. We don't get hung up that we're trying to follow up with that person. Oh my God, they're never there. We don't get hung up on any of that stuff. We got our list, right? We're just moving on, and we just get back to people in due time, and eventually things happen. When there's an exciting launch, that is the best time to get back to somebody. I'm telling him about the 7-day. He was excited about that. He thought it was amazing. So these are the things that you want to do. Great way to follow up. Hey, I wanted to share something really exciting with you. Here's an opportunity for you to try it for 7 days just to get a feel for it. And then they send me the link, right? What are they going to say? No, I'm not interested in anything free. No, they're going to say, send me the link. So you're reminding them of something exciting, and you're going to send them the link again. Okay, so timing matters, you guys, when you're doing the process, especially the very first one. Then you feel it out on what's happening in their lives as well. You don't want to shove a business down their throat. If they feel that their timing is not on because something's going on in the family, whatever the situation is, they have to fly to another country, somebody just passed away, something happened, they just started a new job, whatever it is, listen, you guys. If you don't listen and all you're doing is pitching, the next time you try to connect with them, they're going to ghost you.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. And I don't like to be sold to. I like to buy, but I don't like to be sold to. So you have to think of these things when you're doing all of this. So timing matters. So and you let them know. You don't just randomly follow up with people. You let them know, hey, John, when do you think you're going to have a chance to look at the link? And he says, oh, I could probably look at it tomorrow night. Okay, great. You know what? It's only going to take you about so and so minutes. Why don't we set up a session where I can answer any questions? So if you watch it at 7, if I follow up with you at 7:30, does that work for you to have another session? They're going to tell you, right? So listen in the conversations so you can get the flow of the follow up. And
I also want to just to recognize here, Dr. Joanna, that just hit Sapphire.
Yes.
I believe it's Sapphire. Let me confirm.
Congratulations.
Yes, Sapphire. That's correct.
Super
And
exciting.
folks, If you have anybody in
Master
your
to follow
team,
up.
if you have anybody in your team that you want to recognize, there's an expression where BB cries for it, adults die for it. Recognition, it's very important, not just for the ego, but for the social credibility. And the Telegram group, folks, that God Backup is pointing you guys to, use this group to promote your leaders. This is really important. This is part of the process. So, Dr. Joanna, congratulations. We know it's a job to get to Satfire. What's really nice right now is you're starting to get matching cycle. You're in tier 2, and see, that's where the compensation becomes so attractive. So recognize your leaders. I know that some of you you're just recruiting. This is awesome, but you know where the money is made in this business? Recruiting is stage 1, but it's not the step that's going to get you to create some solid income. It is the culture that is created within the people in your business. Just to sign them up, it's okay, but like in a marriage, for example, the marrying aspect of things is stage 1. Then you have the rest of your life to build on that relationship, right? So that's how you build a network marketing team.
Yeah.
So it's
Following up,
important.
following through, nurturing, being there when they're having challenges. It's the same thing in the follow up process when you're nurturing and guiding people to look at the information, right? So it goes on both parts of
And I see here
building our
Calvin
business.
that reach goal. Lawrence, thank you for putting. So, folks, you got to make sure that this stuff is fuel for
Mhm.
momentum.
It is.
And it's a little too quiet. And you know what? There's a lot of folks that are doing phenomenal, but nobody knows. We need to know. The world needs to know. It creates that social credibility to say, hey, look at this. These people are doing well. These people, maybe I could do better if I put a bit more effort. That it fuels the momentum. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
great stories, Chris, that people can use in their follow-up process with their prospects, right? So use the stories, use whatever you can to help them to take one step further into a decision and getting started with you. So screenshot this slide if you haven't already, and have that in front of you for the rules of the follow-up process.
I
I'm
just want to give you an example of how Tammy was touching on it earlier. She was getting on that slide while she was covering examples on the previous slide. And this is it here, right? This is the follow-up scripts that really works. And folks, this is generic. This is not the 10 testament from God here. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are basic foundation that you can evolve in, but they are they're kind of a beginning starting point for you. And I don't recommend to do a lot of changes in that other than adding the right wording for the context that you are talking to with that particular person in relevance to, for example, God Backup, the product itself, or the opportunity. So in the initial follow-up script, folks, it's more of, hey, John, me personally, I like to see, what did you like best about what you saw? One thing you can do, and remember that it's a follow-up, right? Did you get a chance to check out the presentation? What did you like most about it? You see that positive this is there by design. Don't change that what did you think? Because this could be a pothole for you if the person has a bit of a negative mindset whenever they look at stuff. If you're talking, and again, no disrespect, man, but if you're talking to a lawyer always look for what could go wrong. That's their job. That's how they're designed. That's how their blueprint function. So they're going to look for the downside of things. So it's very possible if you speak to someone who's a lawyer, may turn around and says, well, I don't know about this and that. And you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm just kind of making stuff up. I could completely off, but I'm talking from experience. Some people may not always come up with a positive outcome. And it's instead of going forward, you pedal back 10 step backward, and then you got to go back into a neutral where you were when you first call them and try to be positive to start going forward. This is the difference between people who convert and people who are not converting.
Yeah, and I think Chris, what's really important is listening to people, because often people come with intentions of signing people up in my business, and they're business focused. Chris and I are very business focused, by the way, but we listen to people. So if I followed up with Chris and I asked him what he liked best about it, and he liked the service, well, the energy will go towards the service. So tell me, what was it that intrigued you about the service that's available? And then Chris is going to share his, you know, what maybe Chris, it'd be fun because we never talk about this, but let's just randomly do something that we can share with people. So I'm following up with you. I talked to you. I ran into you in the mall,
So
and
we're role playing. Is that what you're asking me?
yeah, let's do a
Okay.
roll just
So
for
she's
fun.
putting me on the spot here, folks. So let's go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we're both on the spot. We're just going to randomly do stuff. And that's really who Chris and I are. We're not script people. We just connect and we listen to people to see where they're at. So I'm connecting with Chris. Or Chris, do you want to connect with me? It doesn't matter. You met
No,
me
you
in the
do it.
mall.
I'll follow up.
Okay,
You start.
we're just playing here. Okay, so I ran into Chris. He's an old friend. Ran into him in the mall. I know that he came from the IT industry, and just checking in on him, see what he's up to. And in that conversation in the mall, he was asking me what I was up to, and I told him about Got Backup, and it intrigued him. Okay, so I sent him the information, and now I'm doing the follow up. Okay, so I let him know that I would give him a call back on such and such a night, and everything worked out. So I'm giving him a call, ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, Tam here. How are you?
Awesome. Awesome. How you doing?
Awesome. You guys see that right away? The energy. See the energy that we put into it right away? Are you using that energy? This is really, really important. It makes a big difference in your outcome, by the way. Okay. So, yeah, just following up and just checking in to see what you like best about the link that I sent you, the information.
It sounds interesting. Now, did you want me to be a little bit difficult, sticky, or just easygoing?
Whatever you want.
Okay. So I'm going to
Oh,
use
he's going to be mean to me, you
my
guys.
natural state of mind. It sounds very interesting. I love the idea of 6 terabytes for the price of two, but I've been using kind of what do you call it? Just have a memory blank here. Apple Cloud. Why did I have a blank? Because I'm using God Backup. I've been using the cloud service for many years, and it's kind of automatic. It does everything for me, and it's interesting because I only get 2 terabytes right now. I'm probably a quarter there, but I love the idea of 6 terabytes. But yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I felt the same way when I was introduced to the company. I have the 2 terabytes, but how many times do people get those messages, right, where they're running out of space? And I was, as we ran into each other, I was thinking about you because I know your kids must be growing like crazy,
They
and
certainly
they
do.
probably got their phones, right?
Yeah, they certainly do. I know my kids are always complaining about the space and everything else, and yeah, I never really think of that. That could be something interesting because I understand that you can have 6 separate accounts with that.
Yeah, exactly. So how it works is if you would sign up as a member, you can add 5 additional members, and they don't even need to live in your household. I don't know if your kids still live at home, but
Well, some are independent, and some, yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. So it's an opportunity for you to share the storage if you choose to share it. And I don't know if you're looking for an extra source of income, Chris, but it's an opportunity I saw that it could generate some more income. And I know you like to travel because I see you traveling all the time with your family.
Hmm. Well, I certainly, I mean, I'm always open to another stream of income for sure. Okay, you know what? It's only $10. I think it's $100 for the year. So let me go ahead and let me activate my account. Let me try it out. I'll start backing up my stuff, and I'll get back to you. So that sounds interesting. I'll go ahead with it.
Excellent. And if you have any questions along the way, just give me a ring or text me, and we can always hop on a Zoom. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Cool. You see, folks, that was a conversation. And sometimes it could be an easy thing like this because the price point is so low. And sometimes you may have folks that they don't really care that much about the price. They're technical folks and they're asking for more data, more information. And one thing I would recommend is utilize a third party. This is probably going to be the next call we're going to do, is utilizing third party support to validate what you're doing, especially someone that may have a bit more technical asset. This can certainly play a positive role in there. Okay, so
So
that was kind of
we're just ourselves, you guys, and that's the message. It's just be yourself, and in the listening process, that's when you can find the trigger to move them a bit more to the next step.
Mhm.
Okay. And I mean, at the beginning, I didn't know where it was going to go because I just randomly did this. So we didn't plan this, you guys, as you can see.
Yeah, you know, we're just, but this is how life is, right?
Exactly.
And the
So
fact
plan
here,
it.
if we can just follow up on this slide here, Tammy, you know,
Yeah.
that there is 3 stages on this, where the initial follow up is to make sure that they went ahead and looked at it, because we know people are busy and they're not going to look at it until you give them that little incentive and little push to check it out. Again, always in a respectful, in a positive manner. Then the second time you're calling in is, I wanted to follow up and see if you had any time to think about the opportunity. Is it something that could be of interest to you? Right. Tammy kind of touched on that. And in my case, example is, yes, I'm certainly open to different income opportunities. Let me know if there's anything I can clarify for you. This is fair. It's not intrusive. It's not pushy. It's kind of like, if there's an interest there, and it might be an interest, well, how do I get paid? If that was real, let me rephrase that. If, let's say, that was a situation that someone came to me about it. In fact, I think when I spoke to Joel, the very first question I asked him is, what's the comp plan? How do I get paid? How does that work? Because right away, I'll need to know, if I do 10 steps, what am I going to get? Because the fact is, I'm very serious. I'm a moneymaker. So if I'm a moneymaker, I need to know exactly what I need to do. Which, by the way, if you go back to the playlist and you go back to the Saturday trainings, you will find at one point is how to maximize something, like how to maximize your income with God Backup, something like that. It may not be exactly spelled that way, but check it out, because we go through the compensation plan into details. Okay. And I know there's videos out there that I know Randy did way at the beginning, as to how we get paid, and, you know, the inner details and what are the steps. And it's all about producing coppers and so forth. All of the information is there. But at that point, you don't want to overwhelm the person. If you give him too much information, I'm telling you, you will talk them out of looking into this.
Yeah.
Okay. You just want to drip a little bit information, just enough to pique curiosity. And if you watch the comp plan and you understand it well, then you can extract the juicy part of it, like the matching cycle, or because that's quite juicy. But this occurs when you introduce people to the business that are actually doing something with it. That's when you benefit from that. So again, the second follow-up, it's more establishing clarity. It could also be on the product itself. You know, is your phone backed up? This is the first thing. Have you backed up your phone? Have you backed up your drive? Is everything good? Yeah. Everything is awesome. I liked everything is there. I feel comfortable. I'm very happy with that. Right. And then when the collaborate and share modules are going to be added on to the new version that's been introduced several months back, again, folks, that's going to take us to a whole new level, you know, and it's really cool what's coming. Really, really, really cool. And the third follow-up script is, again, it's a sense of urgency. Hey, John, we're starting something exciting this week. There's a 90-day program. There's a 90-day run that's taking place right now to help you kind of take off your business, get your business started. I would love to invite you to one of our presentation on Wednesday or on Friday. And I'd like you to meet some of the folks that are actually training folks doing that. Again, I'm just giving you an example here. So let's jump into it now. Let's check it out. Here's a recording. Let me send you the recording. See, folks, you don't have to wait till next Friday. There has been presentations like this repeated every single Friday for the past almost 18 months. Okay, I say 18 months because I know we've evolved in a presentation from 2 years ago. So let me know if you're ready to take the next step. Ask for the sell. without being pushy. Let me know if you're ready for the next step. In other words, you're ready when they are. Instead of, well, let me know when you're ready. No, 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 no. Because now you leave it up to them, where family will get in, will I don't want to say get in the way, but families affair, things happens all the time that will get people off the track that you're trying to get them into, which could serve them well, but they need to initiate first for them to benefit from what's going to happen. The Fast Start Commission we got back up is one of the best in the industry. 200% from the initial sell. I've never seen that in my career.
Mm-mm.
That's why there's some folks that are making so much money, because they're master. They have these big lists that they've been accumulating for, I don't know, decades, and they used to sell, and they're making $50 per person. What happens if they sign up 500 people? Well, do the math. And then after that, it compounds into the compensation plan, into the binary and all of these things. And if they do the right things by duplicating coppers, what's going to happen? They move up in rank. And now they benefit from everything the plan has to offer. So there's so much good out of this. But if you understand the plan, you can extract this information and share it in little segments, tidbits of 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just enough to make it juicy. So they foam at the mouth when they're speaking. That sounds attractive. Let me look into this. It's only $10 a month. Oh my God. Yeah, sure. It's no big deal. It doesn't affect my budget in any way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So if you provide an overwhelming amount of benefits and value opposed to how much it costs, it's really attractive. But this will come with experience and with the confidence and so forth. So again, these are just little scripts that, as you can see, I've kind of changed a little bit, but their guidelines. One is initial follow-up. Second is a second follow-up, making sure that what they've seen, there's an interest. I tend to be money driven to grow people's pockets, because I know we live in a society, people need more money today more than ever. So I think that's important. But for you, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the product itself, and that's totally cool. You choose how you want to go about it. And the third one is just to make sure that, are we ready to go start? Are we ready to get started? That's what it is. Now let's deal with overcoming some of the follow-up hurdles that we come across. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah. So you guys got to be prepared for this, because you're going to have people who are going to ghost you. You're going to have people who are going to say the timing's not working for me, not now, this is not for me. You're going to get that. So it's important to do whatever it takes to open them up. I can see that you're quite busy right now. Maybe you talk to somebody that is planning for their daughter's wedding or something, and they're really focused on that, and you know them, you know their commitment to their kids and stuff like that. You don't want to pop out a business in front of them, right? You can talk about having more storage and stuff like that, the excitement of at the wedding day, and having more storage and whatever it is that you come up with in conversation. And but I tend to, I'd rather keep a relationship strong and healthy than to try and get somebody to do something that they're not ready to do right now. Okay, so you gotta have that gauge. Okay, some people are just total sales and let's just get the close. Let's get the close. But the way I think about it is, I would gear towards them having a lot of storage on their devices. If I'm going to talk at all about that in that conversation. Or I'm going to wait. I'm going to say, when's the best time? I'm really excited to share something that came across my plate. And I know you're super busy, Jane. I get that. I'm so excited your daughter's getting married finally. You have these conversations and you're just so engaged in it. And they know you care. Don't do it out of fakeness. Okay. You just got to be genuine with people. And then you won't be disappointed. People get disappointed is because they're trying to shove something down somebody's throat, and that person's saying, no, I got my boundaries. I've got things going on in my life right now. But get the timing. Just say, when do you think would be a great time for us to get together? And I'd love to see the wedding pictures. I can't wait to see them. And that's when you continue this. Because I can tell you, it doesn't matter who's calling them. If they're busy and they're distracted in something that's really important to them, there's nothing you're going to say that's going to get them distracted from this. Okay, so very important to listen and be understanding of anybody's situation, no matter what the situation is. And the stronger your relationships are, you will get back to that initial conversation that you have something exciting you want to share with them. Okay, and understanding the timing. Again, I'm kind of sharing the story and I'm going through this slide without even looking at it.
Because it's
So
common sense. Exactly.
it is common sense, and that's the truth. I think so many people get hung up in network marketing. I don't know what to say. Just be yourself. Have a normal conversation like you would if you wouldn't even be in network marketing. Like let's say you're trying something that you really like, and you don't even have a business around it. That it's easy to talk about it, right? But people get all hung up when they know that there's a business around it. And yeah, it's funny, but it's all good. What's important is you just have a good posture and a good heart with people. And people want to follow people who are good people, who have good hearts, and that will lead them in a way that is positive and that's going to move them forward, and that's going to really help them. Right? That's why we're in a great service industry, because we can help people with their challenges of what's going on. A friend of mine that she still hasn't joined yet, and one day she's going to see this presentation. But we grew up together. We were kids growing up, and she got married a few years back. And she said, "Tammy, I lost all my wedding pictures." And I've already talked to her about Got Back Up. And she said, "You know what? Send me your link." And I've sent her my link before. She said, "Send me your link." And I'll follow up with her again, because we went back to that emotional thing that triggered for her to want to learn about Got Back Up again.
I totally agree, Tammy. And again, this is the reality. Sometimes timing is just not there until it becomes the right time. But you will only come across that right time if you're consistently following up and following through. And by the way, if you see me smiling, it's because, as I'm sharing, I'm concentrating and delivering to you. I don't see always all the comments in real time. And I was watching some of the comments here. Kristen, Tammy, many of us are shy to have a conversation. How to start with a personal challenge, and I'm one of them. With this personal challenge, listen, this is what this training is all about. We're trying to humanize this approach. And I think what happens is most of us, and I'm included in that, I take myself too serious, because I want to grow my business. I want to grow my numbers. I want to get my paycheck to that level. And we tend to lose that human factor, that casual conversation. And this is what we're telling you. You don't need to be a different person than you are. If you're a shy person, I assure you that people within your social network know you're a shy person. And just the fact that you are maybe approaching them, they might be really impressed, because they know it's out of your comfort zone. But again, you don't have to change who you are. You're in Got Back Up. You must see something of value. Find what that something of value is for you, and share that something of value to that person that you think could benefit from, as you are benefiting it from. That's probably the best summary I can give you. That way you don't need to change and try to put a mask to try to be that person that you're not. In fact, people are not really interested to see you and to a different person. They want to see the legitimate you. That's how this works. And I'm sure you talk to people. I mean, you're not alone all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, and again, I'm just referring to this Generation Zone. I'm not talking to you personally. I'm talking to everybody listening in here. Um, at one point, you speak to people. You have a conversation over the phone. Maybe you're doing some FaceTime or what, I'm not sure what the Android calls it, but you know what I mean. You're sharing with visual, and it could be a Zoom session, whatever that is. And at the end of the day, folks, it's about sharing something of value that you see that someone can benefit from. It's as simple as that. And if someone says no, don't take it personally. Do not. It's just not for them. It's, for example, if you don't like the color black, I love the color black. I love it. I mean, I love it. I love this color, right? I love to wear clothes that are black. That's just me. Some of you may be more colorful. You want to have orange and pink and green. I mean, Tammy loves to wear pink. She looks good
I
on.
love colors.
I call her my little Barbie.
I
Right?
like all colors.
She has those little white pants, probably wearing them now, and she has this pink shirt, and it looks good, with a little blonde hair, and it fits. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a stroke. Everybody has their thing, and the fact is, don't get all hung up on someone that are not. I don't wear pink. It's just not. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just, again. So everybody has value for what they see as valuable to them. Don't take it personally if they're not open. And I think that's what the challenge is. A lot of time is people take personally a no as a rejection.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. The best example, again, that I've used often, and I'll get to this slide in a minute here, is the waitress or the waiter that are serving coffee to its clients. They just go around. There's no emotional attachment in any way, shape, or form on if they want coffee or not. They're offering. And if someone says yes, they pour. If someone says no, they move on to someone else who do. Mm-hmm. That's how you have to behave around your business. Don't get emotionally attached to the outcome of the person's interests. I had to work on that. I used to take these things personally as they didn't like me. I didn't do a good job. And that is all phony baloney. You simply provide information of value that you see are valuable to someone else. That's it. Simple as that.
And you know what? You don't want to end a conversation with if they're not interested. You don't want to just end a conversation. You want to constantly keep a conversation open, because often a lot of what people don't understand is if something's going on in that person's life and they're just shutting you down, it's not personal to you. They've got something going on, but you never gear the conversation of whether it's no permanently or no, not for now, and keep engaging in a relationship. If you guys are friends on Facebook or any social media platform, comment on their stuff, wish them a happy birthday, celebrate their anniversary, do things to keep engaging in relationship, because you never know what's going on in that person's life in a year from now, 2 years from now. I've brought in people who end up being leaders.
You talk about posting.
No to me right
and
away.
Looking at people posting things. There's a friend of ours from Australia who just got married.
Yeah.
And is a major guru on social media.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why we see him all over the map. Right. So again, here's an example.
Yeah.
And Tammy, I'm leaving it to you to follow up on that. Follow up with Dean. He just got married.
I already did this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Right. So this is a prime example in real life. Again, not planned, but this is, again, how we go about our day.
Relationship.
Okay. So folks, in closing here, we're pretty much done. Is your follow-up is mission for the week here, folks, is one is follow up with all the prospect that you've invited in the past 2 weeks. Almost, or
even in the past, even if you started,
everybody you followed up with, every single one person, and invite them to check out the 7-day free trial.
Yeah.
Hey, try it for 7 days, not 2 weeks. That's too long. They forgot your name by the time that the 2 weeks went by, or they never installed it, they never checked it. Usually things are going to happen within the first 3 days if there's any level of interest. And there's 4 more days to follow up to convert them. 7 days is more than enough, especially if you're taking this business seriously. And the thing is, personalize your message for each contact. Don't send a general email for all of them. You will not get the result you're looking for. It will evaporate like air. Okay. And you can use some of the scripts and track your responses. You know, the tracking sheet that's available, and you'll find that if you go to okay, I don't have the link here, and I don't want to disturb our presentation, but the link that I provide where all our tools are, the Now site things, is completely free. You have access to that. And the reason why I like it is because it's simple. It's not going to pitch you and all this stuff. And then you can access all the stuff that Tammy and all the tools that Tammy and I use on a regular basis. In fact, maybe I can get it quickly here. And here, let me just see if I can get it, because I know some folks might be looking.
And while Chris is doing that, when Chris, there's one section that said personalize your message. You could have a generic foundation of a message, and then based on who it is and who you're talking to, you can customize it, right? Because sometimes you need that copy paste quick stuff when you're super busy. I know I do, but then I'll throw in some personal stuff based on a conversation. And so that's going to help speed up the process of connecting with other people as well. So
okay, so I'm just not fast enough to do this here. But at the end of the day here, folks, just go to the Telegram group. I'll post it in there and take advantage of everything that we make available there. Okay, the playlist is there for these trainings, the tools that we use, everything you need, getting started, everything is there. It's very straightforward, very simple. But the thing, folks, and the reason why I picked this slide is follow your dreams. They know the way. This is a really profound message. Is you need to, first of all, what are your goals? And these are trainings we've done way at the beginning, and determine your goals and dreams. Sit back, go back and start revisiting that also, because this is what will anchor you solid in the ground when the wind goes by and start stealing away your thunder. What are your dreams? What are your goals? Because your dreams know the way. It will give you the drive and the incentives to stay the course and keep moving forward. So the challenge here, folks, is convert 2 to 3 follow-ups into signups by the next session. Folks, it's $10 a month. It is not, they don't have to break the bank to come up with that. You just need to brush up on the value that God Backup has to offer and the way you deliver the message. This is how you're going to learn, and this is how you're going to evolve. So the last slide we have to share with you here is let's finish strong. So Tammy, let's do a quick recap.
Yeah. So sorry, I've got another screen going here because that's
okay.
Quite small for me, but it's all good. Okay, so the recap is to follow up. At the end of the day, if we're growing our business, we should have a process daily on follow-ups. Okay, so always be organized in your follow-up schedules. Okay, I like to do it on the computer. I like to go to my calendar. I like to have a reminder 10 minutes prior. So I get that reminder so I don't forget. This is really, really important. And follow through, follow through, keep those connections strong, invite. What's the next exposure that you can invite them to if they're not on board yet? If they still have questions, I like to personally hop on a Zoom session with people and answer any questions in real time. But if you can't do that yet, then use the tools, use your sponsor or any type of upline support that could be there for you in that process if you're brand new. Okay. but the key is to constantly follow up and have a system of follow up, which is something that we do. Chris, we didn't mention on this session yet, which I think we should be mentioning, is some of you might have seen it after the launch of the 7-day free link for people to try the uploads for 7 days. There's a follow-up 7-day email series that we clicked on and purchased. And we want everything simple and done for us. It's easier, right? Because our job is to talk to people and move people along. But if we have a sequence of series of 7 days where the email can do our job for us in between the follow-ups, I think it's awesome. And I think they're absolutely great. Chris and I purchased them. They were $19.95, I think it was,
Something
Chris,
like
that we
that. Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
And then when I clicked on to buy, I didn't even realize that we actually got them in, I think, 5 different languages. So that was phenomenal to see that. So it's great because the moment your person clicks on the 7 days and decides they want to put their information to try it, the trial, they immediately get an email. You can personalize it with your own picture, your own information, and then they'll have a second one the next day. And you can let them know there's going to be emails that are going to guide them for 7 days. And so I believe, Chris, they were going up in price. I wasn't sure when, but I don't even know if you guys have looked in your back offices, because that pop-up was right there. Right after the session last Saturday, I went and I saw the pop-up right away.
So let me point out here what Tammy's referring to is, first of all, these are the links where this is the business approach for the 7-day free trial with a little video. And when they click on that, they fill in their information. As you notice, there is no credit card reference. It tells you who the person that referenced it to, and then they create their account. And then what's going to happen is they're going to have a light version of this back office with simply use this tool to install it. Okay. And what Tammy's referencing to is once they register with these 2 links, okay, these 2 over here, this is the more of the product approach, right? This one will cover more on the product. I think Will worked on this video, and thank you, Will. You did a great job on that.
Yeah, it was great.
And then you click on that, same thing. It will follow into the same thing. And of course, the phone number is optional, but it's nice to have because, of course, you can contact them and make sure that everything is done correctly. And then from there, once they're registered and they have access, you don't want to just let them defend for themselves. In my experience, you get better results if you reach out to them. And that's the reason why when you go to the lead capture system, this is the email that is included in your $9.97. We're just going a little over here, guys, because I think the tools are important for you to be able to build your business. And if you go under follow-up, under the lead capture, under follow-up, and we've done many trainings on utilizing the email system. And you'll find out over here that that's the one here. Okay. Got back up trial 3.
That's English. Yeah,
this
click
is
on
French.
the 3.
This is Italian. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is Russian. Okay. You can see it here. So let me just
It's
go back
Russian.
to this one. And then from there, we purchased them. And it gives you those 10 different emails done for you. Okay. So I didn't have to go to ChatGPT and create them all. And the one thing Joel is really, really good about, one thing, he's good at many things, but the thing that he's very known for is to get people to open their emails. That's why Joel with his company, GV, they've made over $75 million. I mean, these guys have done a lot of sales, and that's what they're good at. So I like the subjects. It gets people to open the email. Okay. Now, as you can see, I haven't really started this one because I'm still promoting what's pointing to the pre-enrollee. I'll share that with you in a minute. But from there, when you click on the I, it just gives you a series of an email with my information there, and again, invite them to upgrade, right, and see what's going on. It's going to take them right into the site here on upgrading. Okay, all the details are there. So it's that funnel is done for you.
Yeah,
And this is
they did
really
a great
cool. So
job.
Yeah, and the only thing that I did is I changed this for I kept this because I want to understand that there's a company behind that. I This is my home, and this is our team website for people to connect with us directly because this is going to our leads, and these are our social media platform. Okay, these are things that this one here and this one here is God backup stuff, and this one here and this one here is Tammy and I sharing some of our expertise when it comes to building the business.
Yeah, and
Okay,
you can
you may not
add
have
your
all that, and
picture
that's
to
fine.
personalize it.
You
Yeah.
Yeah, use what you have. So the
Mhm.
point, that's it. And then everything else we kept here. So now you're going to start receiving those emails. And if let's say you're using the other ones, the other links that are available on the pre-enroll, then on the pre-enroll, it's a bit more active. And I've redone all of those emails recently. That used to be in 100, but I started from scratch, and I've kind of done all of these, and they're all here. Okay. And what I like about it is there's more open than sent. So that means people come back and reopen them. So from there, I click on the open over here. And Tammy and I did a video from the VIP, the VTuber. We have our own little video there. That's the one that people are going to see. So when you click on that to open, I'm not going to play it, but then it's going to see us. We should probably update that a little bit.
Yeah, we got to redo it.
But
Yeah,
yeah, because that was done like 2 years ago. But
yeah.
again, it's just a quick introduction, and this is how Tammy and I work. And you can see that it's working. And I mean, I could go on and on and on, right, on what's happening here, folks. So at the end of the day, what's important, people, is that you are constantly dripping information, but you need to initiate the start of the conversation by providing the link. And God Backup has done so much for us. Just use what's there, and you don't even have to buy the email. You can create them yourselves. And if you go back to our trainings on how to create your emails and everything else, just look for the word email within the search, within the context of the GVO channel, and you'll find that it's there. Or just go to the playlist. Okay, if you go back here, I'm going to help you again a little bit here. So if I go back to the playlist and I go back and I'm searching for those trainings, so let's go back to the Saturday trainings. And of course, going to go back to the previous slide. And okay, let me just go back to right here, playlists. And if you go into the Saturday trainings, these ones here, okay, you're going to see a list of all of them. That's the one that's taking place. That's the one last Saturday. These are the one that's all sequence here. And if you want to see how to, let's see here, make the most of the GVO cloud. This is an example of how to maximize and using the cloud in a good way. Over here, there's other recruiting things, handling objections,
Chris,
fundamental
you're not
strategy.
showing a screen.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I did all of that. Okay. So basically what I did is I just went to this playlist called God Backup Team Training Calls. And I was just scrolling from top to bottom and see here making the first. So there we go. Marketing email, mastering email marketing and content creation with God Backup and ChatGPT. So I'm showing you how I've used ChatGPT and how to use the email and how to create them and everything else. It's all there, folks. Okay. This training can really, really help you. When I talk about the compensation plan, unlocking the God Backup compensation plan, that over here, it's a great training for you to really extract the juice from the compensation plan for to be able to follow up and give him the good stuff. Okay, so we're going to end the training on this note, guys, because we could go on and on and on.
There's
We
just
just want
one
to over
question
deliver
here that
by giving you
Chris,
information.
there's one question, Chris.
Mhm.
Where's the link to upgrade regeneration zone? I'm guessing that you're talking about the emails for the 7-day trial. If you want to purchase the emails, I know that there was an email that went out. So always check your emails, you guys. We're all in
Let me
business.
just
We
go
need to
check,
check.
Amy, on the marketplace. See
And
if
then
it's
I
here.
was just going to say that I don't know if it's going to show on your
Well, the thing is,
marketplace.
because I've already purchased it, so
Exactly.
it probably will not be here.
It might
Okay,
be in your marketplace. Yeah.
it might be in your marketplace, and you'll find it because I already have it. It's gone. Okay,
But it
these are
pops
different
right up,
languages.
Chris. It pops right up on your screen when you open up.
Correct. But if it doesn't, it's most likely in a marketplace. And if you
Mhm.
don't find it, here's what I recommend. Just go to the support, and under the support, simply create a ticket and make sure you go back to the ticket over here and
Yeah.
just kind of open one over here. Okay. And I saw it right over here, open ticket. I think it's a new platform here. And you tell them what you want and it will respond. They're not going to send you an email. They're going to send you a response, which you need to go back here and you can see here active ticket. Okay. Action required. That means they're waiting for a response from you. And this is where I think a lot of folks are confused about, well, I didn't get a response from God Backup. You did, but it's most likely sitting here. And this is all about training. And that's why we're bringing this up right now. Okay. So let's close this training on this note. We went 12 minutes over the top of the hour, folks. I think we've given you so much information for you to utilize. Folks, I'm telling you, this information is liquid gold for you to build your business. We hope you're going to utilize this information to help you build your business in a way that will serve you well. So sorry about the screen not showing earlier. Sometimes I get confused in my own stuff. So listen, thank you so much for attending. Remember that there is a presentation on Wednesdays, a presentation on Friday that I know of. I know that we have other presentation. Dr. Keowe is hosting, and Neonam is hosting, Sylvia and Walter are hosting, and I know other of the French leaders are hosting. And there's a new group, French leader group. We're having a meeting right after this training. In fact, in 15 minutes, there's a new French group. There's a nouveau groupe en français qui va commencer à présenter tous les détails en français. So what I was saying here, folks, in French is there's a new French group that's emerging that's going to start presenting in French. So now we'll have Italian, we'll have Spanish, we'll have English, we'll have French, and everything is consistent, congruent, and you will see all the markets are going to grow. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. And we look forward to our next session. Next Saturday, I didn't look at the trim, but I believe it has to do with third-party credibility and so forth, which is so, so, so important. Make sure you show up in number. It will serve you well. Everybody, have yourself a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for all the wonderful feedback. And I apologize if I didn't answer to some of them, but I know that the rest of the team probably see them. And the recordings, you can always watch those comments and respond to them. Bye for now, everybody.
Lots of follow-ups, guys.